In this week's Photoshop tutorial, I'll teach you how to do a winter tone in Photoshop. So hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Photoshop tutorial. My name is Manny and you can find me over at Retutpro.com, the channel where you get to learn everything about photography and Photoshop in weekly quick tutorials. So in this week's Photoshop episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to do a simple winter tone in Photoshop. We're first of all going to create a very degraded and natural looking image and then apply a few adjustment layers in order to create this effect. So yeah, enough of the talking, let's get right away into the tutorial. Okay, so over in Photoshop, let's have a look quickly. This is again our before and after, before and after. So yeah, let's also zoom out a little bit. Just press Z on the keyboard. I'm going to zoom out slightly and get right away into the first step. So obviously you guys can see this image has a lot of color, a lot of reds, a lot of blues, a lot of cyans. So my first step for this would be just to get a very even looking image so we can apply some new colors to this and also create our own little winter look. So first step for me is going back to adjustments here and we're going to go to Hue and Saturation adjustment layer. Now in the master tones, I'm going to push those down just a slight bit in the saturation. So something like a -10 to -11. Okay, and I'm testing this now. I'll obviously go through a few more master tones, something like blues, cyans, and magentas. Let's actually start out with cyans, and let's have a look how much cyans do we have in this image. So I'm going to take the saturation slider all the way up, okay, and I can see there's a lot of cyans at the top and at the bottom. So when I do take them down a little bit, I'm going to take them slowly down, bring them up a little bit again, something like a -18 to -20. Okay, -20 it is. Let's quickly have a look here, before and after, slight adjustment there with the desaturation. Then let's also go work a little bit in the blues because this image has a lot of blues in there. Let's take them up so you can see there's quite a lot of blues all around. So I want to take the blues down a little bit in order for us to obviously create a new color then and also a bit more of an even color for the winter look. I'm going to take it down quite drastically. Something to maybe like around 60, actually to, yeah, 60%. Let's go up a little bit. So -60. Have a look, before and after, before and after. Just watch out. Obviously, you don't want to degrade too much, desaturate the face as well too much, but there aren't too many blues in the face. Okay, that works. Then also I'm going to work a little bit in the magenta tones. Let's head over to magentas and push those up first of all, just to see where else we have magenta tones. So just a little bit about the eyes and as well the scarf here with the jacket. Okay, I'm going to take those down as well. Something around 40. So what I normally do is take it all the way down and then I slightly bring it back with the slider here until I think, yeah, okay, this can look kind of good. So I think around 40 to 50, that should be good. So like a -40, 50 there actually. Let's have a look again, before and after. So again, before and after, before and after. So slight degrade and also the image looks a bit more subtle now, not with too many colors. Okay, so that would be my first step. Now, obviously, this is a bit different, most probably for your images, so just have a look out for that. You would have to maybe work a little bit more in these color tones over here. But spend a bit more time in this until you have a very even looking picture. Okay, next step would be now, again, adding curves. We want to add a bit more contrast to this. So I'm going to go back to adjustments and also curves adjustment layer. And first of all, I'm going to set an anchor point over here at the top for the highlights, and then also slightly for the midtones. Okay, somewhere over there. And then I'm just going to drag down another anchor point over here and slowly drag down just a bit of the contrast. Like so. Okay, I don't want to add too much contrast. Let's have a look again, before and after, before and after. And remember, these are adjustment layers, so you can always fall back and tweak them again. Okay, so now I want to go over to color balance and also create a bit of a new color for this. So let's also head over back to adjustments. We're going to go back to color balance adjustment layer. And first of all, in the tones here, switch it all the way to shadow. So you want to start out in the shadow areas. So for my first take here, I'm going to just go with the cyan and push the cyan down just a little bit. So what I also do is sometimes I push it all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and again try to see what type of effect I get. Obviously, this is a bit more colder look and a bit more on the winter side, so we'll most probably go down with the cyan. So something around 40 to 30. I'm going to go actually with 34. Okay. Now I'm going to work a little bit in the magenta tones. I want to bring those back again, but also only in the shadow areas. And very subtle. You guys can see if I do it too much, it's going to pop quite a lot. So I'm going to go to something like a -5. Okay. Okay, so that just a bit more magenta tones overall. And now I'm also going to go over to the blues and just tweak the blues down just a bit more. Have a look. Yellow's going to get too much green. Also plus, I don't want it to get too much blues, so like a -2. Okay, let's also go into the highlight tones now. And now push it up slightly again. For the reds, I just want to concentrate a bit more on the skin here. So something like a +3 to 4. Okay, even a +5 would do. And then also now magentas down and maybe the yellows also a bit down. The magentas, let's head over there. Let's push that up a little bit. So it's going to bring in over a very soft color. So then also I'm going to push the blues up a little bit again. So let's push those up a little bit so we just get a very even blue overall. +11, +10. Let's also actually push that up a bit further. If you want to have it a bit more colder, you can push it overall blue. What is very important here is also to have a look that the skin also gets a bit of a blue touch to it, so that it looks and feels a bit more cooler overall. So I'm going to go with something like +10, +12. Okay, before and after, before and after. Okay. Then also, last step now would be obviously again going back to selective color adjustment layer. So I'm going to go back to adjustments and I'm going to go to selective color adjustment layers. And I'm also going to work here in the black tones, not in the neutral tones, only the black areas. So I'm going to push up the cyan slightly, magentas also a little bit, yellows down a bit. So let's start with the cyan. Going to be up a little bit more, something like a +20 to +28. Okay, let's have a look again, before and after, before and after. We're getting quite a lot of cyan here in the hairs. Then magenta tones also up a little bit. Push them actually down. A lot of green here in the shadow area. So I'm going to push them slightly up, like a +3 or 4. Then also the yellow tones. I don't think there will be a lot of yellows, but we can push now and get the dark areas to be a bit more faded. So I'm going to go with something like also -10 to 11. Okay, and now lastly, the blacks, just a last little push here. Maybe a bit more contrast. That also depends on how much contrast you want. I'm going to go just with something like +2 to 4. Okay, yeah, great. That's basically it, guys. Again, let's have a look here. This is our before. Again, a lot of colors, different colors, and this is our after. So again, a bit more even and looking very cold blue look. Now, obviously, if you want to take this a bit further, you can also apply another dodge and burn technique to this to let it stand out a bit more. For that, just have a look at this tutorial here to learn how to apply dodge and burn. Guys, so that is basically it again for creating the winter tone in Photoshop. Now remember to first of all create a very even looking picture in Photoshop with desaturating. So basically meaning a hue and saturation adjustment layer where you desaturate the image a little bit and take out certain tones in order to create a natural looking picture. So you can apply some own color tones and create your kind of blue or orange or whatever tone you want for the image. Obviously it's winter, so we're gonna stay with blue. If you're like me and just can't get enough of Photoshop, then click on your screen right now to subscribe. We send out free Photoshop and photography tutorials every single week. And we love to stay in touch, so leave your feedback down below or send us your tutorial requests right away to tutorials@retutpro.com. Thanks again guys for watching. I'll catch you all in the next episode. And you are still here, so that most probably means you want to see some more tutorials, right? Yeah, and wait no longer, just click here on the right hand side in order to see some of more color tones, dodge and burn, yeah, some really other cool things. So just click away, click over here.